Dr. Ali M. Liu Dan represent Group 16. In China, there is a car company called Shangxi Tongyouli. All Chinese know this car company. We learned that in Malaya, there is a national car company called Pradio, which every Malayan knows that car company. Our team thought it will be good if one day these two car companies can merge or joint venture. With the development of China's economic, more and more enterprises go abroad to expand production scale and explore the international market through cross-border mergers and acquisitions. This is the need for Chinese enterprises to cope with the challenges of economic globalization and technological progress, and also to solve the contradiction between economic development and resource shortage. However, cross-border M&A itself is a complex process, which will face value, risks, and problems. Therefore, we need to study how to take the road of cross-border M&A of China's automobile enterprises through systematic analysis. Background of chosen company. As an important member of ASEAN, Malaya has become China's largest trading partner in Southeast Asia. With the deepening of China-Malaya cooperation and development, both countries have shown more and more urgent needs in acceleration, industry docking, and optimization trade structure. This is great room for cooperation between China and Malaya in the automobile industry. The companies chosen in this proposal are SGMW China, Radio Malaya. SGMW is one of the largest manufacturers of microvans and mini cars in China, known as 小面包车 or small bread boxcars. This brand says commercial vehicles are no longer than a compact car and have sold well in the poor interval. One of its popular microvans is the Blin Sunshine, selling more than 4,050,000 units per year, as GMW has claimed no one model outsells it in China. The Plansion Automobile Cardio Central brand, second automobile manufacturer Pradio Limited, yearly arrived to Pradio, is Malaya's largest car manufacturer, closely followed by Proton, established in 1992. Pradio was once famous with Cali Mostir, its first launched car in August 1994. The reasons for Chinese automobile enterprises transition M&A. One, plan to expand globally. China's leading auto companies have long looked abroad and are trying to expand overseas by acquiring global brands. By acquiring the assets of well-known foreign companies, Chinese companies can easily develop sales and distribution networks, bolster brand recognition, and develop targeted local practice to saturate the domestic market. As China's economy has grown rapidly in recent decades, parts of the country have begun to overheat. The auto industry is structured, hurting domestic computation and eroding profits. To reach new customers, many auto companies are trying to expand overseas. 3. Need for technology. Automobile industry is a capital and technology intensive industry with huge R&D expenses and a high proportion of fixed costs. It is an industry with high risks. Although China has become a major automobile producer in the world since its accession to the WTO, it has not mastered the core technologies, especially the engine technological and design ability, and the complex technological industry chain owned by foreign companies are purchasing resources for China's automobile enterprises. For the need for financing and risk aversion, it is easier for multinational companies to obtain overseas funds directly by M&A, avoid the risk of direct investment, and reduce the direct investment of their own capital. Many Chinese companies have grown dramatically over the past few decades, building up large cash surpluses. Flush with cash, these auto companies are looking for strategic investment opportunities to generate higher returns, or have sound leverage rails and ample cash surplus, and are well positioned to successfully expand overseas. One analysis of cultural integration problems in M&A. In the practice of enterprise annexation, the collision and fusion of two corporate cultures often occur simultaneously with enterprise annexation, which leads to the risk of cultural incompatibility. Every enterprise has its own corporate culture, and cultural conflict is inevitable in M&A. 2. Analysis of risk during M&A. Lack of clear strategic objectives for cross-border M&A. The fundamental value of M&A lies in acquiring the core resources of the other party through M&A, enhancing its core competitiveness and sustainable development ability, which requires the enterprise to pay attention to strategic M&A. However, the motives of China's enterprises cross-border M&A are much more complex, especially for some large state-owned enterprises groups, as they do not compete in a complete market economy. They often do not fully follow the value analysis and business laws in cross-border M&A. Operational risks in M&A. Risk of information asymmetry. In M&A world, the timely acquisition of real, accurate, and effective information is the key to determine the success of M&A. As a comprehensive system composed of multiple textures of production and multiple relationships, the enterprise is extremely complex and it is difficult for the acquirer to fully understand the target party in relatively short time due to the executives of information asymmetry and moral hazard. The acquired enterprises are easy to conceal unfavorable information from the acquirer or even fabricate in favorable information in order to obtain more benefits. Financing risk. Every M&A activity is almost backed by a huge amount of capital. It is difficult for enterprises to complete the M&A process with their own capital. 3. Anti-takeover risk. Abnormal circumstance. The acquired enterprises often hold an unwelcoming or uncooperative attitude towards the acquisition behavior of other parties, especially in the face of hostile takeover. They may organize anti-takeover at all costs, increase the cost of M&A, and increase the difficulty of integration after M&A. Generally speaking, the ethical enterprises majorly adopt economic and legal means to implement takeover defense. 1. Change the situation that Chinese enterprises cannot rely on cross-border M&A as soon as possible. 2. Increase government support and encouragement measures. 3. Improve the overseas investment insurance system. 4. Integrate industry resources to build international cultural brands. 5. Seek professional advice. At present, China has formally become a member of the World Trade Organization, which means that China will participate in international economic and technological cooperation in a large scope, in a broader field, and at a higher level. China's automobile industry should seize the favorable opportunity, learn from the management system of transnational cooperation M&A of foreign developed countries, and face transnational M&A with a positive attitude. At the same time, China should also formulate relevant laws and regulations to encourage Chinese multinational corporations to expand overseas by means of M&A. In short, China's automobile enterprises bypass the barriers to choose M&A investment will bring unexpected effects.